Hey FlossTube, I'm Jules. Thanks for watching another video, coming back for another video. It is December 28th. Only a few more days till 2018. That is fantastic. I'm ready. I'm ready for New Year. I'm ready for the calendar to turn, and because it's still stitching season. It's still stitching season, and it gets post-holidays. Stitching season really kicks in because January and February for me are some of my most productive cross-stitching times. There's a lot of football games to watch and playoffs and stuff, and I just get a lot done in the winter season. So I want to show you first of all my t-shirt for today. Warning, may spontaneously talk about cross stitch. I did get this one on Amazon some time ago. Don't know if it's still available or not, but the reason why I wanted to show it right off the bat was because my favorite Christmas present from my husband was this incredibly plush robe with, for those of you who are hockey fans, the Blues logo on it, the Blue Note. And I gotta tell you that I have been, every minute that I have been home since I got this sucker has gone on. Even if I make it home for lunch, I put this thing on. It is warm, it's heavy, and it feels good. So yeah, it's definitely oversized, which I love, and it is so cool. I love it to death. I hope you guys had a good holiday all across the world. We're almost done with that. We got New Year's celebration. Not doing anything super special on New Year's. I had some friends that got married a few weeks ago, and they're having their reception dinner on New Year's Eve dinner. So I'm gonna run in real quick, congratulate those guys, and outside of that, just gonna stay home, to be perfectly honest with you. But other than that, I've got some really cool things to show you guys as far as what we got for what I got myself, or my husband got, or other people gave us for the holidays. And it's all like Star Wars related stuff because we're big Star Wars geeks. And I'm gonna put a few pictures of those things on the blog. There is a massive Star Wars Afghan that a friend of mine made for us, and it is ridiculous. It is so amazing, and I am not taking it out of the protective bag that it is in to show you guys. I'm sorry. I'll have a picture on the blog. You guys can see it on there. Speaking of the blog, man, I've been really slack on that. I'll be honest with you. I've done some stitching this week, but not a ton. And but once we kind of get through the stress of the holidays, we're gonna get back into normal routine. Everything's gonna be good to go. But I wanted to show you a couple of things that we got. There is a cross stitch gift in here too, but I was gonna show you how do I show this? It's a Star Wars toaster. It looks like Darth Vader's head, and it pops out toast that says Star Wars on it. How cool is that? Of course, we don't have any bread in the house, and every time we've been in the store like 4 times in the last week, and every time we've forgotten to get bread. But no big deal, no big deal. We'll get it all squared away. What else? We got a little snow, a little snow here in Colorado. Nothing like what they got in Pennsylvania, like 4 feet plus or whatever. That's just ridiculous. I'm gonna just tease this Star Wars cross stitch. My husband gave this to me. I'm gonna talk more about this towards the end of the video, but the big thing that happened cross-stitch-wise this week was I got back all my framed projects, and I definitely am excited to show you guys what those are. But I gotta say that a few of them I'm like, I really like them, but I think for me, I get so frustrated when I go shopping. I don't like to shop like out in stores. I don't like to be out in stores. I start to get kind of nervous and kind of, I don't know, antsy and whatnot. And when my mom was here, she likes to go out and do stuff and see stores, and I get like progressively more anxious the longer we're out doing that, and I just get grumpy and stuff. And so some of these projects, I think I could have probably done maybe a little bit better of a job picking out things, but I was just getting a little impatient. But no worries, no worries. And I just wanted to show you. You guys have been seeing this one. You've probably been seeing this one. Why isn't she talking about this? God Save the Queen. So this is my husband's, and I'm super happy with this one. We picked the green matting to kind of match the green here, and then just an older looking brown frame for it. And so just super happy about that. So it is awesome. I really, really like that one a lot. Got the Yoda piece done. Here's Yoda. I kind of wish on this one that I would have specified more space, more fabric. But one of the things that I've talked about before, is that I have so many projects that I'm going to be framing, and there's only so much space. So I want to make this one a little bit smaller, but it's going to go down on the stitchy wall next to Darth Vader. But I really am happy with kind of the way it came out, because it definitely, I was worried about how well the design would pop, and it really, honestly, once it's all done, it popped great. And in case you cannot see it, it says do or do not, there is no try. And so this one's also for my husband, because he's a big Star Wars, obviously, he's a big Star Wars fan. So I'm going to put that one down here. Now, the next one is a piece that I got done for my friend, the little girl who is amazing, and I actually saw them. My best friends who used to live really, really close, and then they've since moved to California and whatnot, and their little girl who's amazing. But I did this one for her. I say little, I think she's like 11 now, but so she believed she could, so she did, by Lizzie Kate. And I like the choice of the matting, and then this is sort of like a blue-gray metallic frame. But otherwise, I'm pretty happy with it. I like it. I like it mucho. There we go. There we go. All right, next piece up. Actually, this one might be my favorite. This is my mom's. The Prayer St. Francis. Again, another one by Lizzie Kate. Mom was with me when we went to get it framed, and so she helped pick out the frame and the matting. So this will actually be my mom's first look at it, because I haven't sent it. I thought about sending I had a couple of these are gifts, and I need to send them off, but I was like, you know, I was lazy this week. Work has been insane getting back from the holiday, and so I just haven't had the time yet. And I just wanted to, I kind of wanted to show them in a video first, but here we go. Lizzie Kate Prayer St. Francis. Try and get some glare off of it. But I think it came out really nice. So it's kind of a blue aqua green or whatever, frame to kind of match some of the bluish colors in there. And then the frame is just sort of a shiny, darker brown, kind of a metal frame, but I like it. I like it a lot. I think it came out really, really nice. And then, the one you've all been waiting for, another Ronnie Rowe got framed. And I went a little bit different with this one, primarily because what I did was I actually chose a different kind of matting. It's more of a suede mat, and I'm not sure how much it's going to show up in the picture, but it looks really cool up close, and it's just different. And it'll be interesting to see what it looks like next to the other Ronnie Rowe that's downstairs. That's going to be my husband's weekend project, is going to figure out where and how to put everything together downstairs on the stitchy wall. So we'll see how that goes. But here it is. Hold on. This is Music Teacher's house. I'm going to zoom in. Whoop, there we go. What do y'all think about that? I'm not sure how well this dark blue is really showing up. But it's also sort of it's a black frame. It's the same black frame that I've used in my other project. But guys, I know a lot of you have basically talked about getting Ronnie Rowe projects, and a lot of you have. But if you have not, if you find this beautiful and you have not, check out Ronnie Rowe Designs and see what you think, because honestly, this is amazing, so unique and amazing. And I'll show you. I've been working on the Ronnie Rowe piece this week, but when I finish with this next Ronnie Rowe, I don't know, I might need to figure out which one I want to do next. I wasn't planning on it. The three pieces that I have were the only three that I really wanted to do. I might do the U.S. Capitol, but we'll see. We'll see. But I'll cross that bridge when I finally get to that point, when that Ronnie Rowe is done. So yeah, my husband has a lot of work to do. I'm gonna put this back up here, guys. I I know it looks like it's off. Oh, it is off. Ah! Hold on. That's pretty straight. That doesn't look straight on there, but it's the angle, I think, that we're looking at the thing, but no big deal, no big deal. All right, so I'm going to show you what I have gotten done this week, which I worked mostly on 3 pieces. I'm going to show you, let's just jump right into the Roundy Row piece, because I did this for the stitch along, and this is Market Square Tavern. So I finished up a little more of what we were working on before, but there's Market Square Tavern. Ta-da! Again, quite gorgeous. So what did I get done? I got done, basically I filled in all this area down here, and I worked a little bit more up there. And man, that design is popping out like crazy now. Love it. Love it. It's black threads, 310 on white Aida. It is 18 count fabric is what this is. And for those of you guys who are not Aida fans, because Aida is so stiff, I mean, this stuff is like putty now. I've worked on it. I've worked with it for so long. I mean, once you've worked with it for a bit, it softens up so much. Rainy Waterloo Place. I have a picture of Rainy Waterloo Place. Have I showed this lately? Can't remember. That's what it's supposed to look like, guys, when it's done. And here is where I'm at. Just about to the bottom. Can I see? Here we go. Just about to the bottom of the piece. So let me zoom in here. So that's the bottom. So a lot of what I worked on this week was just getting this down here, filling in a little bit more up here, but a lot of it was just coming down here. I really want to try and finish filling in this part and then fill that in. And we're good to go. We're good to go. All right. And then lastly, I started working on it, only got a little bit of progress on it, was Old World Map 2. And once again, I think like last week, I'm not going to take it out of the hoop because I do want to work on it today. But I did get more done with it. So, just basically more done through the mountains and whatnot, filled in. So, but you can see how I got about a quarter to a third of the page left to do. It's coming along very nicely, very nicely. All right. I mean, stitching plans are basically, you know, I think what I really want to do is, I need to do a big organization. I mean, I say that every single time, but I need to do a big organization. I need to separate out all of my, you know, the patterns with what fabric do I have, what other fabric do I want to get to start some of these newer projects, because like I think I showed you guys last week, like I've got this cute little Yoda that I want to do now. I've got this gorgeous heart pattern that I want to do now, and then this amazing Boba Fett that just looks so incredible. I just bought those patterns. I know I talked about a giveaway last week. I'm so unorganized. And I need to print that out and show it to you guys and see what you think about doing some sort of a giveaway. It's more of an Easter project, so we got time. We got time. But I need to figure out like what I'm going to need to make a run to a stitching shop, my local LNS, soon. Guys, I'm going to be sending in a fabric order. And they watch, and so I need to get some of that together for these projects that I have here and a few of the other ones that I have that I want to get started on. But you know, I definitely just need a big organizational thing. And I have like my cards that I had the names. I mean, it's been a very busy holiday season for us, and so it's definitely something that we or that I need to get going on. But I have so much to do. But that is definitely really, I think the next thing is just finding a list of fabric and just getting that sent off so I can start getting some stuff back in. And then I'll need to make a list of threads or floss that I need. It never ends, people. It never ends. And then maybe once I get a lot of that stuff in, I can do like a big, gigantic whip parade video. And I'll separate that out. That'll be just by itself, because I know not everybody likes whip parades. but I think I need to do that because I think that would be good for me to see what I have and see what you guys think and get some motivation for maybe adding in some new pieces to the rotation, figuring out which ones I want to add to my rotation. So I want to tell you guys a story real quick. It's not necessarily a totally happy story, but it is a meaningful story to myself and my husband. And one of our first dates, like about almost 3 years ago, was a DU hockey game, Denver University hockey game. And we both love hockey, and we like to support the local teams. And we had a chance to go to this hockey game, and we had some good seats. We were sitting closer to the team, and I forget who they were playing. And to be perfectly honest with you, that night, DU was not good. That season, they were okay. 2 years later, they won the national championship, which is awesome. But a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, they weren't nearly as good. And like I said, it was one of my husband's and I first dates. But there was this kid that was sitting like in front of us and over a couple seats, close enough that we could, we could see him, we could recognize him, we could hear everything he said. And he spent that whole game cheering for his team. And he loved the DU hockey team so much because he'd be like, let's go boys, come on boys, let's go boys. He's like constantly encouraging them, cheering for them, just a constant torrent of support. And the one things that we realized as we were sitting near him and he was talking whatnot, he had Down syndrome. And he didn't appear to be with anybody. He was just there by himself. And he was probably, 17, 18 years old. Wasn't really sure. But he spent that whole game cheering for his team. And it was something that really struck my husband and I, that night because of his just constant love and support for his team. And there was a point in the third period where, he was sitting sort of in front of us, and then the team was like not that much further away. And there was a point in the third period where they all turned around and were all like, thanks, Petey, thanks for the support, and they cheered him on and whatnot, and he cheered back, and everything was cool. And so for the last almost 3 years, that Let's Go Boys has been sort of a rallying cry in our house when I'm watching sports and I'm watching my Blues or the Bears or something like that. I'm like, let's go boys, and it's never done to make fun of the kid. It was just, I wish we were all like that about our teams or anything that we support, that we were that fully supportive and not critical, but just fully supportive. And on Christmas Eve, my husband came in and woke me up, and he said, he said, honey, the kid, Petey, from the DU team, he died last night. And I was shocked and I was sad, and I might cry during this, but apparently he got sick like 3 or 4 days before Christmas, and he passed away from meningitis. And I left a huge hole in the DU hockey squad because he had actually, over the last few years, had developed into like kind of a mascot in a way. Like he would come to practices and he would come to games, and he was involved with the team, and he would help them and do different tasks and whatnot. And they all loved him and they all knew him very well. And so they were, it was a local news story, and so they were just devastated by it. But it's crazy how it was one night almost 3 years ago, and this kid made such an impact on my husband and I that we, remember him and are truly saddened by his loss. And, it's just crazy. It's not silly. It's just crazy. But you have to understand that, everybody has an impact on somebody in their lives. And this kid never knew us. I never looked him in the eye. I never said anything to him. But he made such a difference in our lives, and I know we're never going to forget him. And but it's just one of those things where you don't always realize the difference that you can make in other people's lives, by just doing little things for them or showing support or love for something. that can, you know, you just never know, that can make an impression on everybody around you. So, you know, for those people who may think that, you know, they don't make a difference, they don't, you know, they're not important, or they live small lives. And I used to think that when I was younger, and you come to realize that you make a much larger difference than you realize. And Petey just kind of hammered that lesson home to me again. We were watching It's a Wonderful Life on Christmas Eve, and I just kept thinking about Petey, you know, the story of George Bailey, thinking that the world would have been better off if he hadn't been there, or that, you know, if he hadn't lived, that's, you know, everybody would have been better off, and being shown how false that was just reminded me of Petey, you know. And anyway, I hope I don't bring you guys down by that story, but it just, you know, it really hit home to us. And so, you know, we're gonna keep saying "Let's go, boys," you know, all the time. But anyway, I just wanted to share that. And let me talk a little bit about the kids here. I don't have any two-legged kids. I have four-legged kids. I need to put a video up on the dog channel, but we gave them for Christmas this massive, I don't know, 3-foot-long rawhide thing. It was huge. The only dog that could actually pick it up was Zuzu the Golden Retriever. Everybody else tried, but they couldn't pick it up. And we gave that to them on Christmas, and it's been, 3 days, and they've finally gotten a lot of it chewed up. Everybody's taken a turn on it, and it was, I think it was quite the hit. And so, but I'll have a video up about that. But they love their rawhides. And I know some people will come out and say, like, you know, rawhides are bad. And rawhides are bad unsupervised. For those who don't know, I am actually a vet. And I tell people all the time, I'm like, anything that you give your dog can cause a problem if they chew or swallow it in a way that's not intended, and if you leave them unsupervised with things that can cause problems. I choose to normally do just the long rolled up rawhides for my dogs, or sometimes we'll do the little flat strips, because then they usually will chew small pieces. And all the dogs do a great job with chewing smaller pieces, ripping off small pieces at a time. The only one who doesn't is Zuzu the Golden Retriever, who is not always quite so bright. And she, occasionally I have to pull a piece out of her mouth or out of her throat that is, she's trying to swallow, that's just too big for her. But we don't give them bones and then walk away. They always chew the bones with us nearby, so we can kind of see what they're doing. And we just keep a close eye on that. So, speaking of which, have you guys seen that video on YouTube that talks about, there's some shelter somewhere, some dog shelter, that when they bring the dogs in, they sort them into like Harry Potter type houses. They call it Hogwarts. And so everybody gets sorted in based upon their personality and whatnot. So we actually spent some time the other day trying to figure out which houses our own dogs would sort into. And I don't think a single one of them were Gryffindor. Yeah, it's hard to say. Zuzu could be Gryffindor one day. She's kind of like Neville. She's growing, and she's she's getting better, but she could be a Gryffindor. But most of the dogs were Hufflepuffs. There were a few Slytherins, a Ravenclaw here and there. But yeah, Zuzu might be the only Gryffindor, and she still has to grow into it. But I thought that was pretty funny. But fish are doing great. I'm sorry, I'm just kind of down about the whole Petey thing. And so I'm down, but I'm also inspired. But I love that kid, man. So the fish are doing okay. Nobody has died, which is good. The coral's still alive. I'm still trying to figure out how much light it needs, when it needs to be fed. You know, after the fish died, I haven't gone and got another fish yet, but there'll be a point, I think the first week of January, where I'll go in and I think I'll get some more stuff. But I have such a list of things that I need to research and learn about, and things like you know, just continuing to learn about saltwater aquarium stuff is right on the top of the list. But I watch a lot of YouTube, constantly learning and watching videos on there. So it's pretty funny. Okay, last bit. I almost forgot to show you guys the Star Wars cross stitch thing. So this is the present that my husband gave to me, and you can get it on Amazon. I'll put a link below if you guys want to do this. This would, to me, be a fantastic gift for a young person. If there was a young boy or a young girl who loved Star Wars and expressed an interest in cross stitching, this would be a fantastic starter kit for them. What it comes with is it has 12 patterns, and they're small patterns. I'll show you in a minute. It comes with a book that has all the patterns in it, and then it also comes with thread and, let me open it up here, and I'm trying to think, fabric. There are a lot of things on it that it talks about, like it wants you to maybe do, you know, cross stitch on other fabric, you know, pillows or different things. It just gives you a lot of options. I'm not necessarily like that though. That's not what I do, but man, I bet you a lot of you guys out there could do that. There we go. All right, so it comes with some black fabric and enough thread. It's DMC. Some white fabric and some black fabric. I think they said with enough things to do the Yoda pattern, you can do the Yoda pattern, and then you can do the Star Wars pattern here, which is awesome. And so the book basically has like a lot of pictures and stuff of Star Wars stuff, but like it has oh wow, see that right there? That particular picture, we have a shower curtain that has that picture. That's kind of funny. That's the shower curtain that I look at every day when I'm taking a shower. That's kind of funny. But let's see here. So it has like the Rebel Alliance logo, so you can stitch that, and that's a very basic logo that any little kid or anybody who's learning cross stitch could learn how to do. It takes just a little bit of fabric. I mean, these are, you know, these are small projects. I mean, you know, it's like a 5x5 fabric cut. You know, I mean, they use this one, which is like the galactic symbol, and they stitched it onto a towel. Let me look here a little further. Where was the one that I liked? I like this. I find your lack of faith disturbing. You can choose different fabric colors and fabric types for that. Again, just a really small pattern, which is great. You got a nice little "May the Force be with you" thing there. I mean, it's awesome. So, and then there's this awesome R2-D2 picture, and they put it on a pillow. But there's just, I mean, there's 12 different ones. There's a BB-8 in here. But there's all kinds of really, really cool things in here. And like I said, it's an excellent gift for, I think, somebody who is a big Star Wars fan and wants to get into cross stitching or just started cross stitching. You know, I mean, you got little kids that like Star Wars, and those are great little projects to do for them. So, you want to hear one funny story? This is kind of how weird I am sometimes. We went to dinner at some friend's house for Christmas. We ate so much. Oh my gosh. We ate so much that I fell asleep. Yeah, and dinner finished, and everybody's still sitting at the table. I'm like, I really need to lay down. And so I laid down on the couch right next to the table. I slept for half an hour where everybody was having dessert and hanging out and stuff. But food coma. But anyway, we got home, and we got home at about, I don't know, 5, 6 o'clock or whatever. My husband was at that point in his own food coma and came upstairs and wanted to watch the Doctor Who Christmas special. And so he came upstairs, and I, like, all of a sudden got this amazing second wind and started cleaning. So on Christmas night, I pulled out the furnace filter, gave that a good cleaning and whatnot, put that back in, and then I took apart the vacuum cleaner, cleaned it all up, and replaced the belt, because I was like, I want to vacuum. And I'm like, oh, the vacuum cleaner's not working really well. Oh, I'll bet you it's the belt. And I had a spare belt, and so my husband helped me a little bit and to get it right back where it needed to be. And then I spent the next hour vacuuming very happily. Because when you have 7 dogs, you got to vacuum regularly. And I could tell that the vacuum was slowly dying, and changing that belt did the trick. But that's what I did Christmas night. Yep. I wish I was that motivated every night when I got home, you know, but not always the case. But anyway, it's a beautiful day outside. I got to go run one quick errand while I'm uploading this video. But other than that, I think I'm good to go. I don't have anything else to do today other than stitch. So I need to pull out some of these projects and get some progress made on them. And then maybe later do some organizational things. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see where my motivation takes me today. And I'm going to have I would like to have a new dog video out and maybe a new aquarium video out at some point. But thanks to you guys who subscribe to those channels. I appreciate that very much. We'll do a Stitch With Me this weekend. Probably again on Sunday, I would say. Would probably be maybe Saturday night. We'll see. Depends on the lighting, obviously. And but otherwise, we're good to go. So happy stitching. And I will see you guys really, really soon. Stay safe, stay warm, and take care. Later.